let's bring in the blue team.
First and foremost, AxMZE, coming from Burbank, he's going to be rocking Alona.
Oh, wow.
Man. This is just a dab exhibition,
no,
man.
No, he quick sniped that dab, though. You saw that, though? He went bang and then just left.
And, of course, second, we have StuffyPlays representing San Diego, and he's going to be used.
Now, I'm actually hyped for StuffyPlays because that's a personal friend of mine, so I want to see him tear up everybody with that Rollins.
And then, of course, we have AaronWentworth coming up. Cottonwood, he will be playing Black Knight.
There we go. All right, Cottonwood, show us what you got.
Oh, wow. EvoqueTwitchTV coming from San Clemente, rocking Spartacus.
I like the plug there. Shout out to you. Make sure you go the right way next time, though. All right.
And next up, leading these guys to victory, Gltovar. Come on out. Help these guys out. They need a little guidance.
All right, Tovar.
What better way, you know?
He's been pretty consecutive, so I'm hyped to see him. And with that said, let's bring in their opponents, the red team. Starting off, we have HolyMacintosh from Houston, Texas, represented with Alona. He looks happy to be sitting down. I like that. Coming up next will be Eternal Fire from the Philippines, a name we've seen before, representing that Black Knight. And after that, it's going to be MrBladder from New York City, throwing it down with Rollins. And returning once again, it's going to be Saltii with that Saltii run back in his mind. Coming from Orlando with that Spartacus.
Oh, comes out holding the phone. He wants you guys to see it. Probably a quick Snapchat.
Ladies, hold on to yourselves as we're going to have our coach coming out. He may rip his shirt off once again. It's going to be Dre.
Shout outs to Dre. How many shirts did this guy have?
I don't know,
Comes
man.
out. Oh, so you ain't going to do it this time? You're just not going to give us a shirt rip, you know? That's all I wanted.
You know,
that's all I wanted.
All right, and once again, as we always do, let's talk composition. Blue team, Alona, Rollins, Black Knight, Spartacus. Pretty straightforward team.
Yeah. It's a tale of the cards as always. Kind of, you need to kind of scout this from a distance.
Right.
You get the opportunity to hear the teams.
Yes.
So by the time you start the match, you can say, well, we might want to build this up.
Right.
They're probably going to go for this, and these are the characters we have to worry about dealing with. So the blue team has a pretty good composition. Alona, Rollins, Black Knight, Spartacus. Pretty standard composition. You kind of got all the bases covered.
Right.
You get that attack. You get that tank heal.
Yep.
You still get that support, and you still got that Rollins there to clean up anything on the outside.
Very true. And let's talk about this red team composition one more time. Alona, Black Knight, Rollins, Spartacus. Sounds like a mirror match to me. So expect the buys to really dictate how this goes. And again, they're going to have to decide where they want to make their push. You now, keep in mind, in this game, you can make a counter push. We've seen it before because this is Breakaway. There's a lot of times where people may focus on the red and or blue buff, something like that. And in the meantime, other team is focusing on the relic. And that's where the instant breakaway happened. We've seen instant scores just like that. Even from that 4v4, don't forget that, the 4 Spartacus group. That's exactly
Team 300?
did.
Yeah, man, that was kind of crazy. Like you said before, it's so easy to get caught and stuck on one thing while they're playing, because while you're fighting, you're saying, well, we can just wipe them, and then you have that one player on the other team
that you just can't find,
100% aware. You're like, hey, where's blah, 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 blah? Relic scored. And you're like, oh, man, what happened? And then that makes you kind of change up in between rounds. You start to pay attention a little more. You try to get those buildables, get that defense up, as well as spend that money, that gold, to power up certain attributes of each character.
Very true, and that's a shot to the ego. You hate that, though.
That's
right?
100% true. Somebody's making you spend money on stuff you don't want to. Nobody likes that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the things that happens here in Breakaway.
The match is going to be underway very shortly. We will be playing on the stage El Dorado.
And we've been having a great time all weekend. Play Breakaway, of course, is the hashtag if you guys are tuning in at home. And, of course, tweet it out, twitch.tv/playbreakaway. If you want your guys to tune in on this action and you want to get even more involved, we have Stream Plus. We want to know what you guys think. Anyway, who do you think is going to win? Who's the better fighter? Who has the better ability? Let us know. We'll talk, discuss, deliberate, you know, take it to the courtroom, ask the judge. Who knows? I just like the way it works out.
The match is loaded. We are just about underway here. This is going to be a slobber knocker. I can't wait to see what buys these guys pick up in the first initial round here.
All right, so let's see who buys what. Like I said, a mirror match at this point, but it's all about the buys. What are you guys going to power up first? Who's going to be stronger? So Alona on the blue team gets that cooldown reduction, and of course you see Rollins get that destructible on buildables boost up, and then you have Black Knight, of course, with defense, and Spartacus with attack, of course, and goes right away on the red team, setting up that ramp.
Buildables came out very quickly. Spartacus goes for the rush on that red side. Both decide to push, but who's going to win the scramble?
Oh, wow,
Looks like it's going to be red team. All right, and in the meantime, while all of that was going on, we were
what
talking a moment ago about
say?
that breakaway, and it's going to be a score just like that.
They weren't listening.
They weren't listening.
We just said you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. All it takes is one slip of being like, hey, we got the boost that's only going to last this round, and we destroyed a buildable. Hey, where's the relic? Relic scored. And then all of a sudden you're mad at yourself because you weren't paying attention.
Great stuff from StuffyPlays there. He is the Rollins on the blue team to add to that pressure. Wonderful stuff. That was absolutely hilarious. So with that said, I'm sure right now the red team is on their toes. What are they going to do this time around is the question.
Let's look at these buildables. Red team going for armor piercing on both Rollins and Spartacus.
All right, ramps have been set up. Jail is set up from Rollins. Oh, minecart set up.
Nice.
I like the barrels.
And you see them going for that red push again, but you see Rollins kind of just scoping that relic as the Black Knight from the red team grabs that relic, pushes slightly into blue team territory.
Now, it's interesting. Actually, Rollins was defending the blue buff, trying to pick that off slowly, but no one went for the red buff at the time, and now the red team has it picked up. Looks like they're going to slow play this time around, and I don't blame them. They do have spikes available to fight on. Meanwhile, those barrels that they're just standing in front of are actually helping them in this battle.
Yeah, you see right there, he tried to pass the Black Knight, but Black Knight was actually in a scrimmage with the red team's Black Knight, so it just hit the ground and it put the relic up for grabs again, and you see blue team Spartacus make his way out, and did you see the Black Knight run up and activate Thorns just to give that Spartacus a little more time, just to get out of there, and you see Alona in jail over there, and blue team Spartacus still pushing that relic, really close to scoring right now.
Just applying that pressure, making the objective count. They have to chase him. He's a weasel. He's running around, and wow, I love it.
Nice, needs to be really careful.
Spartacus
nice
cleaned
change
up.
of hands right now.
And it looks like they're going to push back to the midfield. It is a 4v3 situation. Right now, everybody's just kind of satelliting around, figuring out where and when exactly to push. Wow, good flash out from Alona. And it looks like they're going to take the fight by the red buff stairs.
He needs to be really careful at this point. Nice ramp right there by that.
Will they get the chance to use it? We'll see. Oh, no, don't touch that.
Uh-oh, needs to be really careful fighting at this range. Black Knight, not as strong as Thorgrim, but can definitely push you off the edge of the stage. And he grabs that relic, and he's making his play right now, making his push.
Now, you have to laugh at that there, because that ramp is there. Everybody saw it as an immediate threat. And just like that, we saw a breakaway from the Black Knight. And we're going to see Spartacus just rush it right in.
Pass. Nice relic movement to make sure that arena is it's so big, but the minute you start moving that relic around, get that team play going and passing back and forth, it definitely helps out. And you see Black Knight activating that Thorns, pulling everybody in, so it makes it a lot easier. Kind of narrows the view, get a good, nice shot at that relay just to get the score.
That was very, very clean. A great distraction there. And look at the net worth right now. Spartacus buying that damage on the red side. Gold damage right there for the blue Spartacus. And right now, they're pretty much even in net worth. With that said, though, look at the build that was being set right now. Spartacus decided to go for the aggressive push. Right now, Black Knight doesn't even know where to put the darn spikes.
Light of judgments right now, man. It's so much.
Which is beautiful, because that's like a great spot to fight.
Yeah,
a lot of melting is gonna go down.
I feel like they feel that it's going to always boil down. They have to get past there to even score. But look how much is going on. You're going to have to make a choice either to focus on the buildables, the relic, or the opposition and try and stop those guys.
I think all three are an absolute most dangerous situation to have to deal with. So they're going to have to plan accordingly and do it as a unit. In the meantime, though, blue is cleaning up right now. Getting a lot of gold. One more time.
Doing a great job at this point. And look at that ramp right there on the steps. That is definitely going to be a bother. Definitely stop the red team's Black Knight from making that jump, because he knows exactly what would have happened.
A 1-2 punch actually there could have rung out from Spartacus, but he didn't want to overcommit because he could have gotten ganked and yanked right off the stage.
You see the blue team's Black Knight activate his Thorns, dispensing the red team's Black Knight 4 seconds before he's back, and look at Spartacus trying to fight it out with that Black Knight. He's not going to be able to do too well on that blue team.
Alona didn't get the opportunity to heal as much as she wanted to. She gets picked off and forced back into those mirrors. Fortunately, there's not much there. Somebody's in jail right now. It looks like it was the blue Spartacus, but he does not get damaged for his troubles.
2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock. That is a dangerous place to fight. You see Alona still there supporting her team. The rest of the blue team still there waiting. Gets a small heal.
And they move back to the midfield to continue the fight. Black Knight with the overextension in the aggression, but not too far. The other three do follow.
Exactly. And now you see a small push. They try to follow up on that returning red team, and you see that buildable, that siege barrel go down. That the red team's Black Knight tried to build up, and look at the fight happening right now. Black Knight versus Black Knight is getting pretty hectic. You see Rollins with that barrage, still getting picked up and dispensed by the red team's Black Knight.
Black Knight on the blue team has to be very careful as they're very weak, but Spartacus is about to go for the win. Looks like he's gonna try to be sneaky and get those pushes. Fortunately, he's too weak to complete anything, so he's gonna have to back out as well and reassemble with his team.
And blue team Spartacus getting out of there really close to dying right there, but decides to get out instead just so it won't be too hectic for the rest of the team.
Ooh, knocked down. Lovely. Oh, the pull. Stay over here.
Might is right.
Meanwhile, we have Rollins on the blue team making a push. Goes for the toss. Doesn't get intercepted.
Wow, that was sick. Nice.
In the ramp. Oh, no. The Thorns on the ramp to say, no, you cannot.
Oh,
we're back in midfield.
Rollins trying to clear that relic, gets picked up by blue team Spartacus. What's going to happen next?
All right. It looks like he's going to go for that ramp. That ramp is not going to push him too far. Just a little bit past that blue buff. It looks like he's going to stay right in this backfield and fight by the shrines, actually.
Yeah, it's actually pretty smart. You want to get a scope of the field, so you lay back a little bit. Even if you are holding that relic, you move a little slower, and you leave it to the rest of your team to go out, scout ahead, and make sure everything's okay.
Smart decision. And again, we're coming up to that 1 minute mark, and this is the part where you make the decision. Maybe we take the fight to our side for a little while, just so we have health advantage, and we force their death timer to climb, or we make a push. It looks like they decided to make that push.
And 53 seconds left, under a minute. The red team Spartacus trying to make a push, get that relic over into blue team territory. It's definitely a tug-of-war situation right now. 44 seconds left on the clock.
And these guys are far too squishy. They've got to be careful. You're going to see Spartacus go down.
And
Alona
look
is
at
down.
Rollins' life.
Rollins is down. All that's left is the Black Knight. He's trying to get his health back. We might see a score. It's a 4v1 situation. Lots of passes going on. We see a toss. No one's there to stop it, but it looks like a cleanup.
The rim, doesn't go in.
Uh-oh, we
really
see a pass,
close.
a toss,
and there it is from that
successful win
Alona.
from the blue team. Wow, that was a very clean matchup. Great assembly composition. They made it look very easy.